and just wait for the government to come and save you, I can almost guarantee you'll be among the first casualties. You see, folks, thanks to my military background, I've uncovered shocking government intel that confirms nobody will come for help. And as a faithful Christian, a former Army infantry soldier who received a Purple Heart, and a father of several kids, I feel like it's my duty to show you all the disturbing proof I've uncovered and tell you exactly what I'm doing to protect my family. Because the truth is, we might have less than 24 hours to prepare. First, I must warn you, what I'm about to show you is not sanctioned by the U.S. government and the mainstream media. Folks, they're too corrupt to cover this story. So, you definitely won't hear about it on the nightly news either. But thanks to my training in military intelligence, I've obtained some controversial information I believe every American patriot deserves to know. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how both political parties have been lying to you about this imminent risk and putting your life and the lives of your loved ones in danger. I'll reveal how a recent cyber attack on our Texas power grid was actually a test run, orchestrated by Iran to probe our weaknesses. I'll expose the real reason why Iran's been forming alliances with Russia, China, and North Korea. And hint, it's not for regional stability. And I'll show you intelligence reports that reveal how Iran's axis of resistance has been secretly planning what they call the fatal blackout. The coordinated attack designed to ensure America never recovers. Because while our politicians have been playing games, Iran has been playing for keeps. And the countdown to their revenge has already begun. According to this official congressional report, if you ignore this message and do nothing, there's a 90% chance you and your family could die within the first year of the attack. But you do not have to be a victim. In the next 2 minutes, I'll also show you a few simple steps you can take right now to prepare for this blackout. For example, I'll tell you about the one thing you must do in the first hour after the attack that will increase your family's chances of survival by 99%. How to have unlimited electricity without having to buy overpriced solar panels or backup generators. How to shield your cell phone, electronics, and even your car from this nuclear electronic attack. And much, much more. These are the same techniques some of our elite military units are using to protect their families. They won't share them with civilians because they don't want the population to panic. But as a Christian and a veteran, I think every patriot deserves to know these survival secrets. So pay close attention to what I'm about to say, because the safety and survival of your own family could very well depend on this critical information. When you learn these elite survival secrets, you'll know exactly what to do when the blackout begins. Most people won't know what's happening and why the power isn't coming back, but you'll be in complete control. You'll have peace of mind, knowing your family has all the resources they need to survive the blackout, no matter how long it lasts. Brother, let me tell you something. Being fully prepared like that puts a lot of power in your hands. And you've heard the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. You'll become the leader of your family, friends, and community. They will depend on you for security, advice, and safety. They will trust you with their lives. So I must warn you, whether you want this or not, you'll become the alpha dog. And trust me, they'll need you to step up, because as you're about to see, our own government and military has admitted our nation is not prepared for this attack. When Congress dragged FEMA administrators in to testify about grid attacks, they basically threw up their hands. One former FEMA administrator told Congress that water and wastewater systems would be among the first to fail. And there's not really a good way to manage that if those systems go offline for extensive periods of time. His exact words. He said emergency response would become a game of triage, deciding who gets power and who doesn't, who gets clean water and who doesn't, who lives and who dies. Lloyd's estimates the total economic damage could hit $1 trillion. Folks, that's just money. The human cost, unthinkable. That means once the power goes out, nobody will be able to help you and your family. Not the government, not the police, not even the military. We'll all be fending for ourselves like animals. So if you want your family to survive, You need to be ready when the shit hits the fan, which could happen at any moment now. Just look at what happened in North Carolina after Hurricane Helen in September 2024, when the storm wiped out power to over 1.4 million people. And remember, this wasn't some third world country or foreign nation. This was America. And the government response was a total cluster. For over 2 weeks, entire towns in the mountains had zero power. No cell service, no internet, no way to call for help. People in Asheville were drinking water from puddles because water treatment plants were down. Families were hiking for hours just to find a cell signal to let relatives know they were alive. By day 10, people formed armed groups to protect their supplies from looters. Local Facebook groups turned into desperate pleas. Does anyone have insulin? My diabetic son is going into shock. Our baby is out of formula and all the stores are closed. Has anyone seen my 85-year-old father? He lives on Old Mill Road and I haven't heard from him since the storm. Even worse, FEMA was nowhere to be found for the first week. And when they finally showed up, they were turning people away because they didn't have the right paperwork. Meanwhile, regular Americans were using their own boats, helicopters, and ATVs to rescue their neighbors because the government had completely abandoned them. At least 240 people died, and that was just from one storm in one region, with the rest of the country still functioning and able to send help. Now imagine that same scenario, but coast to coast for an entire year with no help coming, ever. Now, even though everything I mentioned so far is coming directly from government insiders and the highest ranks of our intelligence community, most people will dismiss this message as some kind of crazy conspiracy theory or the ravings of some doomsday prepper. And I can almost guarantee that those people will be among the first ones to die during the coming 365-day blackout. But it doesn't have to be like that for you and your loved ones. You don't have to be a victim. If you follow the instructions I'm about to give you, you can protect yourself and your family from this attack. Look, guys, I don't know how you found this video online. Perhaps a friend shared it with you, or you came across this page by divine intervention. Either way, it doesn't matter. I believe God wanted you to see this information because we could have less than 24 hours to prepare. You must act fast because, as you now know, on February 28th, U.S. forces took out Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on foreign soil in a precision strike. And Iran's response was immediate. Severe revenge is coming. But here's what the mainstream media isn't telling you. Iran has been preparing for this moment for over a decade. In August 2025, just months before the assassination, Iran unveiled something terrifying, the Rostakiz missile, a weapon specifically designed with dual warheads, one for tactical nuclear strikes and one for generating electromagnetic pulses capable of disabling all infrastructure within an 80-kilometer square radius, detonated at high altitude. And the EMP radius expands to cover thousands of square miles, potentially taking out power grids across multiple states. Dr. Peter Pry, former executive director on the Task Force on National and Homeland Security, spent years warning about EMP threats. He said a single EMP attack could cause more casualties than all modern wars combined. We're talking about the collapse of critical infrastructure that keeps 330 million Americans alive. And that was before Iran unveiled the Rostakiz missile in 2025, a weapon specifically designed to do exactly what Pry warned about. Now, here's the frightening part. In June 2025, Israel and the U.S. launched strikes targeting Iran's doomsday weapons programs. The media celebrated it as a victory. Iran's nuclear threat neutralized, the headline said. But intelligence analysts believe Iran had already weaponized their missiles before these strikes, meaning the weapons are already deployed, already positioned. And after we killed their supreme leader, Iran has every reason to use them. Even worse, Iran has spent years building what intelligence analysts call the Axis of Resistance, a military alliance designed to coordinate attacks against the West. China is providing hypersonic delivery systems. Russia is sharing nuclear technology and tactical support. North Korea is contributing weapons-grade materials and manufacturing capabilities. It's the most dangerous military alliance formed in modern history, and it exists for one purpose: to ensure America can never recover from what's coming. Make no mistake, Iran, Russia, China, and North Korea are now coordinating their response. And according to this official report from the Congressional Advisory Board on Homeland Security, the U.S. won't be able to stop a coordinated four-nation EMP attack. Take a look. It says a widespread, protracted blackout is inevitable. Former senior Defense Department official Dr. Mark Schneider has also confirmed that America has no defense against it. That's why you must act now to protect yourself and your loved ones. Please understand, I know this all sounds scary. As a father of 4 boys, I pray every day that I'm wrong. But I can't simply bury my head in the sand and ignore the evidence I found. Even though the lying media won't say a word about this, everything points to an imminent attack. So pay close attention, because I'm about to reveal details of the Iran war our own government does not want you to know. I've already been attacked by the Washington Post, the New York Times, and Rolling Stone because of my political views. I've had the DNC spend millions of dollars trying to destroy my reputation simply because I'm a patriot. So I have no doubt big tech and the corrupt establishment won't think twice before censoring me. For that reason, I can't guarantee how long I'll be able to keep this video online. And once the attack begins, it will obviously be too late. Remember, you won't be able to access the internet or call anyone from help. You will be fully on your own. That means today, right now, could be your only chance to learn the life-saving secrets I'm about to share. I'm about to get into all the details, but first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Before I joined the military, I was a cop for almost about 15 years. I did everything from regular patrol to narcotics, from investigator school to special weapons operator, from community service to hand-to-hand combat instructor. Then, in 2011, the war in Afghanistan started getting really bad. Every night on the news, I'd see the caskets coming home, and I felt like I had to do something about it. Because, folks, I come from a family of veterans. My grandfather was in the Marine Corps. He fought in the Battle of Iwo Jima. My other grandfather lost a leg during the D-Day invasion. They risked their lives to protect our freedoms, and I wanted to do the same. So even though I was 35 at that time, I decided to enlist active duty. But I wasn't just looking for any military job behind a desk. I was walking away from a career I loved, so it had to mean something to me. That's why when I talked to the recruiters, I asked them, give me the hardest job you can possibly have. Folks, and that's being an infantry soldier. The most physically demanding and psychologically stressful job in the military. You're always in combat, constantly putting your life on the line. In fact, on my first deployment, they sent me to Kunar province in Afghanistan, which at that time was known as the deadliest place on earth. They even called that area the Valley of Death. At first, I didn't really understand the significance of that name, but I quickly realized that I had been sent to hell on earth. Folks, gunfights every day, rocket attacks, IEDs, mortar attacks, every single day. I lost close friends, and I'm only here today because of a miracle. In that video I showed you earlier, you saw that I dropped my rifle when I got hit. What you didn't see is that I was holding that rifle right in front of my face. That AK-47 round was going straight to my head, but it hit my rifle instead. And that's the only reason why I'm still here. My story got a lot of press at that time. I was virtually on the front page of every paper in the country. Folks, I was invited on Oprah, Jimmy Kimmel, Jay Leno. Turned them all down. I didn't want the attention. Like I said, I lost friends over there. And those guys are the real heroes, because they paid the ultimate sacrifice. Sure, I was wounded, and the VA actually wanted to amputate my right leg, but I'm still here. Folks, I still get to wake up every day. I still get to hang out with my kids every day. So the least I can do in the time I have left on this earth is to help as many Americans prepare for this coming blackout. Like I mentioned earlier, I recently got a hold of this report that you're seeing on your screen called Blackout Warfare. This is the official report from the Congressional Advisory Board on Homeland Security I told you about earlier. And it details how our enemies, including Russia and China, could be preparing for blackout warfare. I read that report from top to bottom. And with each line, my heart was pounding faster and faster. The more I read, the more I thought, holy crap, we're screwed. You see, that report explained how Russia had been developing and testing this HEMP bomb since the 1960s, but only recently they developed the technology to actually detonate the bomb above the United States. I'm talking about hypersonic missiles that travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound. Unlike traditional missiles, it can change its trajectory to trick defense systems. It can also travel without being detected by radar. In other words, these hypersonic missiles cannot be stopped by our missile defense system. Simply put, our military is totally unprepared. And if you've been paying attention, that shouldn't really surprise you. Look, Trump just made the ballsiest move of his presidency. Taking out Khamenei showed strength, real leadership. But here's the brutal truth. That assassination just gave Iran the perfect justification for retaliation. And our military isn't ready to defend what's coming next. Because 4 years of woke policies can't be done overnight. The damage runs way deeper than anyone imagined. We're finding out that Biden's DEI initiatives infected every level of our armed forces, from recruitment to training to battlefield strategy. And while Trump's trying to reverse course, Iran isn't waiting for us to get our shit together. They've already got the Rostockis missile deployed. They've already formed their little club with Russia, China, and North Korea. They've already publicly vowed severe revenge. Meanwhile, our military is still dealing with the fallout from 4 years of woke indoctrination. We've got officers who were promoted based on diversity quotas instead of merit. We've got soldiers who spent more time in sensitivity training than combat preparation. We've got an entire generation of recruits who were taught to question everything except our enemies. As a veteran who lost friends in battle, it sickens me that while we're trying to rebuild our military's fighting spirit, Iran and their allies are already executing their revenge plan. They know we're vulnerable right now. They know this is their window of opportunity, and they're not going to wait for us to fix Biden's mess. Trump gave them the motive. Biden gave them the opening, and now we're all paying the price. That's why me and my veteran buddies have already taken measures to protect our families from this imminent attack. And I want to share all these elite survival techniques with you today, including an HEMP-proof source of energy I call unlimited energy in your pocket. A magic 5-inch device you can install on your breaker box that will instantly turn your entire home into an HEMP shield. The Air Force One secret that can protect your computers and cell phones from this attack, and much, much more. And I want to put all these instructions in your hands today so you can save yourself, your wife, your husband, your children, your grandchildren. Unfortunately, most Americans are not prepared to go even a few days without power. Millions will be caught off guard. That's why experts project 90% of Americans could die. And it's why you must prepare now. Once they detonate an HEMP, all your electronics will be fried and the entire power grid will collapse. Again, our own Homeland Security experts estimate we could go an entire year with no power. And that's why today I'm officially launching what I'm calling Fatal Blackout. My mission is to show you all the survival techniques me and my veteran buddies are using to protect our families. So I put all the details inside an easy-to-follow program called Fatal Blackout: How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness. Inside this life-saving program, you'll discover several secrets that will protect you and your loved ones, including how to get unlimited energy in your pocket. No, I'm not talking about regular generators either, or expensive solar panels. You see, having a traditional generator won't save you during this attack. The generator's motor would survive, but the electronics that control the voltage output would be destroyed, and the generator would no longer work. I'm talking about a portable source of unlimited energy that you can carry in your backpack. A source of energy powerful enough to power your entire home. CNBC called it a revolutionary alternative power source. Another article from Fox News said this source of energy is practically unlimited and has no downside. And the Daily Mail called it the holy grail of unlimited clean power. You see, when our military goes on missions that last multiple days, they're often in remote locations in the Middle East or across the globe with no access to power. Like when I was deployed to the Valley of Death. Still, our soldiers need to be able to charge their radios, scopes, thermal imagers, and several other specialized electronics. Their life depends on it. And that's when they often use this revolutionary source of energy. You'll learn all the details of this military tech inside Fatal Blackout. More importantly, we'll tell you how civilians like you can get their hands on the exact same technology within 24 hours for pennies on the dollar. And that's just the beginning of all the life-saving information you'll find inside your survival guide. You'll also discover a squid-like 5-inch device you can install on your breaker box that will instantly turn your entire home into an HEMP shield. Like I mentioned before, once this nuclear electronic bomb is detonated, it will destroy electronic devices and electrical systems, including those in your home. I'm talking about your TVs, microwave, washer and dryer, and other electronic appliances. That also includes heating and cooling systems, lighting, and security systems. They will all instantly become junk. But with this squid-like device, you won't have to worry about it. It's guaranteed by its manufacturer to protect your home from this type of attack. Even better, once you get your hands on this survival guide, you'll be able to easily install it in less than 10 minutes. And there's so much more. Fatal Blackout is packed with recently declassified intel that will help you protect your family. Like the Air Force One secret to protect your computers and cell phones. Like I mentioned before, once this weapon is detonated, commercial airplanes will fall from the sky because their onboard electronics will get fried. There's only one exception, the Air Force One. Even our military knows this HEMP attack is inevitable. So they've already protected the president's plane against an electromagnetic pulse. Normally, this kind of technology would cost millions of dollars and would be out of reach from everyday Americans like you. But inside your copy of Fatal Blackout, you'll discover a do-it-yourself alternative that would give you the same level of protection Air Force One has. Even better, no matter your background or level of survival skills, you can build this with only a few materials that you can get from Walmart or any grocery store. And it should cost you no more than $20. So while everyone else will instantly lose their computers and cell phones, you'll have complete peace of mind knowing your devices are protected. Are you starting to see how this program is packed with life-changing information? Are you starting to feel the relief that comes when you know with 100% certainty that your family will be protected? In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can get your hands on a personal copy of Fatal Blackout, how to survive 365 days of darkness. Because the truth is, you and your family do not have to be victims. Sure, your neighbors might laugh when they see you taking all these precautions. Let them. They might call you a doomsday nut job and tell you this can't happen here in America. But once our entire electric grid goes out, they'll be the first ones to beg you for help. Once they see your home is the only one with electricity in the entire neighborhood, they'll be desperately asking you for your secret. Once they see your family fat and happy, while everyone else is desperate for water, starting to starve to death, they'll wish they had prepared. Trust me, you'll be amazed at all the life-saving secrets you'll find inside your personal copy of Fatal Blackout. For example, you'll also discover the NASA phone you must have if you want to keep communicating with your distant loved ones. You see, once an HEMP is detonated, phone lines and cell towers will stop working. That means even if you save your device using the Air Force One secret I just told you about, you still won't be able to communicate with anyone. But with this super phone that uses NASA technology, you won't need cell towers. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile can all go dark. Doesn't matter. With this secret, you'll have a reliable means of communication. And there's so much more inside your HEMP survival guide, like the broken battery tweak that will instantly protect your car. During this blackout, most people will lose their means of transportation, but not you. This secret literally builds a shield around your car, ensuring none of its electronic parts will get fried. The safest place in your home to store your cell phone and other small electronics. Hint, this 30-inch area in your kitchen is the only place in your house that might be protected. 9 essential items you must have if you want to survive. Without number 1 on this list, you and your loved ones are guaranteed to die. The infinite hydration secret that could save you and your family. During the coming blackout, millions of Americans could die of thirst as the supply of water dries up. But not you. With this secret, you'll be able to drink water even from the most polluted rivers, giving you and your family an endless source of clean water for drinking and cooking. The new blackout currency that will replace the US dollar. After the HEMP attack, credit cards will stop working and cash will become useless because most stores will shut down. Instead of cash, most people will use this new currency. And no, it's not gold, not silver, and it's not Bitcoin. And that's still just the very tip of the proverbial iceberg of what you'll find inside your copy of Fatal Blackout: How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness. For example, you'll also discover 100 non-perishable food items that would last at least 1 year. The only way to get official updates from the U.S. government on the blackout situation. The best weapon to protect your family against a mob, not a handgun or an AR-15. How much potable water to store and where to never keep it. The life-saving maneuver you must do if the HEMP attacks while you're driving. The only place where you'll be able to get fuel. Do not go to gas stations or you'll get shot by the looters. The one critical move you must make on day 1 of the attack. You live in a large city. Your life and the lives of your loved ones depend on it. A checklist with the summary of 12 key preparations you must take if you want to survive the attack. And so much more. As you can see, this survival program will give you all the information you need to keep you and your loved ones safe during this extended blackout. This can work for you, even if you know nothing about survival techniques. This program is designed to work for everyone, regardless of your age, your background, or where you live. And I'd like to give you immediate access today because, frankly, we don't have much time to prepare. With this war escalating, this blackout warfare could begin at any moment, even in the next 24 hours. Now, Fatal Blackout: How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness is not for sale on Amazon or any retailer. And even if I tried to sell it on Amazon, it's likely big tech would label this as misinformation and censor me. For that reason, this elite survival guide is only available on this website. And I honestly don't know for how long I'll be able to keep this page online. I mean, guys, you know how much big tech hates the truth. And we both know they have zero respect for our First Amendment. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they force us to take this down, which means this could be your only chance to get life-saving information. A few American patriots just like you have already discovered some of the secrets you'll find inside your guide. And they're raving online, like Patrick, who said, "I absolutely love it. It definitely gives me peace of mind knowing if anything happens, I'm covered." Todd, "If an HEMP strike happens, I'm ready." And Brandon W. from Florida, "We used it during Hurricane Ian when we didn't have power for 8 days. Life-saving." These brave Americans have already started to protect their families. My hope is that you'll do the same. Now, I know that a lot of Americans try to protect themselves against a blackout by installing generators at their home. I also know these generators are not cheap. It could cost you $5,000 or more. And like I explained earlier, traditional generators will become useless during the coming blackout. But inside your survival guide, you'll discover a foolproof way to get all the electricity you need for as long as you want. And this program won't cost you $5,000. It won't cost you $1,000. It won't even cost you $100. You see, as a Christian and a veteran, I want to put this life-saving information in the hands of as many people as possible. That's my bigger mission. For that reason, I tried to make this as inexpensive as possible. After negotiating with our publisher, we reached a price that was just enough to cover our expenses of keeping this page online for as long as we can, and printing and distributing this guide all across the country. I'll give you the details in just a moment. First, there's a couple more resources I want to send you today. The first one is a bonus survival guide called The Invisible Survival Garden: How to Safely Grow Your Own Food During a Blackout. You see, from a very early age, my parents taught me about self-reliance. They grew tomatoes, corn, green beans, and carrots. And I've been hunting since I was a kid. Give me a bow or a rifle, and you could pretty much drop me anywhere in North America with the clothes on my back, and I'll make it. On Thanksgiving, I put my own bird on the table, and I can gut, skin, and quarter my own deer or bear. I believe having these kinds of survival skills can be critical during an extended blackout. So inside this report, I'll teach you how to grow your own food in a way that will be invisible to potential looters. You see, if you had a regular garden that's visible to all your neighbors, it would be like putting a big neon flashing light in front of your house that said, "We have plenty of food, come on, come loot us." In other words, you'd actually be inviting criminals and the hungry mob, putting your family in unnecessary danger. But with this secret, you'll be able to secretly grow carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, spinach, arugula, peppers, beets, and more. You'll find all the details inside this guide. I'll walk you step by step. So even if you have zero experience gardening, you'll be able to grow your own food and secure an unlimited source of vegetables, potatoes, and fruits for your family. This guide is yours free the moment you claim your copy of Fatal Blackout. And when you do, I'll also send you another survival guide called How to Turn Your Home into an Impenetrable Fortress. You see, once people start to starve, the mobs will begin stealing, assaulting, and murdering. They'll destroy the inner cities first. Then they'll come to the suburbs, and they will look for the best stocked homes first. That means your home. So you need to be prepared, because you won't be able to call 911 or anyone for help. Unfortunately, during this coming blackout, locks and deadbolts might not be enough to keep looters out of your house. That's why I want to put this bonus survival guide into your hands today. Inside, you'll discover life-saving secrets like how to make your windows indestructible. Most robberies and break-ins occur through a window, but with this secret, looters won't stand a chance. How about your doors? Simply put this obscure 10-inch object behind your doors, and they cannot be broken. This is better than any heavy-duty deadbolt. Stake this four-word sign outside your home, and most looters will skip past your house. Hint: many survivors from New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina, used this method to protect themselves. And much, much more. This bonus guide will also be yours, completely free of charge, once you claim your copy of Fatal Blackout: How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness. But wait, there's one more super bonus I can only offer to the first people who take action before this video ends. It's an exclusive survival guide called The Underground Medicine Cabinet: How to Find Life-Saving Remedies in Your Own Backyard. You see, during an extended blackout, hospitals will shut down. Pharmacies will be looted within hours. And if you or a family member gets sick or injured, there won't be any 911 to call. No doctors available, no antibiotics or pain medication. You'll be completely on your own. That's why my grandmother's old world knowledge could literally save your life. She grew up during the Great Depression, but people couldn't afford doctors or prescription drugs. Instead, they had to rely on nature's pharmacy, the same plants and herbs that are probably growing in your neighborhood right now. So inside this exclusive guide, I'll show you how to identify and use medicinal plants that can treat everything from infections to pain to digestive problems. You see, Big Pharma doesn't want you to know this, but many of our most powerful medications originally come from plants. Aspirin, that came from willow bark. Digitalis for heart problems, foxglove plant. Antibiotics, many fungi and plants have natural antibiotic properties. But with this secret knowledge, you'll be able to find natural remedies that could literally save your family's life during a blackout. Plants like the Nature's Antibiotic, that grows like a weed in most backyards and can fight infections better than many prescription drugs. The common tree bark that works as a powerful painkiller, and it's probably growing within walking distance of your home right now. The emergency plant that can stop bleeding instantly. Soldiers have used this for centuries to treat battlefield wounds. How to make a natural fever reducer from a plant that most people think is just a garden pest. And much, much more. I'll walk you step by step through identifying these plants, how to harvest them safely, and exactly how to prepare them for maximum effectiveness. So, even if you have zero experience with herbal medicine, you'll have your own natural pharmacy ready when the lights go out. This super bonus could be worth more than gold during a blackout, but I can only include it for people who secure their copy of Fatal Blackout before this video ends. So here's the deal. Instead of investing $5,000 like most people do when they buy a generator, your investment in Fatal Blackout will be just $67. That means for less than the cost of a dinner with your wife, you can get complete peace of mind knowing that your family will be fully protected. And please, feel free to share this information with all your friends and anyone else you want. It's also a good idea to share this with your close neighbors, because if they're not prepared, once they begin to starve, they might gang up on you and try to steal your supplies. To get started, just click the big button you see below, and I will ship you your beautifully printed, full-color copy of Fatal Blackout, How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness. Plus, to show my thanks, I'll eat the shipping and handling cost, $9.95 value, absolutely free. Remember, this attack could happen at any moment now, which is why I also want to give you immediate access to this critical information. When you click the button now, you also get instant access to a digital version of this program, plus a digital version of all 3 bonus guides: the Invisible Survival Garden, how to safely grow your own food during a blackout, how to turn your home into an impenetrable fortress, and the Underground Medicine Cabinet, how to find life-saving remedies in your own backyard. To get started, just click the button you see right now. From there, you'll be taken to a safe and secure order form where you can enter in your details. And within 2 minutes from now, get instant access to all this information that can help you and your family survive this blackout disaster. You'll be joining the ranks of growing patriots who've already taken critical action to protect their loved ones. And by the way, you can make your investment in the Complete Survival Guide for the Coming Blackout with complete confidence and peace of mind. You see, I want there to be no reason why you wouldn't get your hands on this life-saving information today. So I'm protecting your investment with my risk nothing, keep everything guarantee. That means you take zero risk today. Here's how it works. Once you start going through this program, I'm confident you'll quickly realize this is the best investment you've ever made. But if you don't feel that way, if for any reason at all, you think this program will fully protect you and your family against the coming blackout, I don't want your money. You call me up and get all your money back. No questions asked. And you can keep everything as my gift to you. Let me repeat that. You can get your money back, no questions asked. And you can keep everything, including your Complete Survival Guide for the Coming Blackout and the 3 bonus survival guides. That means there's absolutely zero risk to you. It doesn't get any fairer than that, does it? I'm taking all the risk because I'm 100% confident you'll love this program. The way I see it, you have 2 options right now. You can bury your head in the sand and pretend you didn't see this message. You can completely ignore the warnings from the former CIA director and Homeland Security experts and pretend this threat is not real. In other words, you can take your chances and hope nothing bad ever happens. That's what most people will do. They'll put the lives of their loved ones in the hands of the government. Can you imagine that? They'll rely on the government and the police to help them. But when they try to call 911, nobody will come. Once they have to face darkness, starvation, and dehydration, they won't know what to do. That's why this official report is projecting 90% of Americans could die. But you and your family don't have to be victims. You have another option. You can take control of the situation today. With all the information inside your copy of Fatal Blackout, you'll have everything you need to keep your family and friends safe. They're counting on you. So are you ready? Click the button to get started. In just a few moments, you'll discover how to get unlimited energy to power your house and electronics. The simple tweak to your breaker box that will shield your entire home from this attack. How to get all the food and water you'll need during this dark nightmare. Right now, there's one copy of Fatal Blackout, How to Survive 365 Days of Darkness, reserved in your name. Plus, the free bonus reports, The Invisible Survival Garden, How to Turn Your Home into an Impenetrable Fortress, and The Underground Medicine Cabinet, how to find life-saving remedies in your own backyard. But if you don't claim them now, they'll have to be released to somebody else. Don't let that happen. Go ahead and click the button below to get started. Before I go, I'll leave you with the true story of 11-year-old Christian Pineda from Conroe, Texas. I'm sure you heard the news in 2021 when the entire power grid collapsed in Texas in the middle of a winter storm. 4 million Texans lost power and heat for 2 days as temperatures plummeted as low as 10 degrees in their area. Christian was one of them. He tried to stay warm under a pile of blankets with his 3-year-old brother. But when his mom tried to wake him up, he was unresponsive. He wasn't breathing. While his mom was giving him CPR, other family members were desperately calling 911. But it was too late. Christian literally froze to death, simply because his parents were unprepared. Don't let that happen to you. Your family is counting on you to protect them. Don't disappoint them. Click below to get started. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and God bless you.